Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing another ship showcase video from the Draconis Expanse server. I'm doing these videos because I believe that this server has some of the best builders in the Space Engineers community, but unfortunately due to the PvP and RP aspects of this server, a lot of these ships never see the light of day, and I think they deserve to be showcased in front of the Space Engineers audience because they truly are some of the best builds I've ever seen. Just like last time, we're going to be going through a variety of ships, starting with some smaller combat ships, then moving to some more advanced, heavily teched out cruisers, and then we'll be moving into some utility ships designed for hauling and mining. Let's go ahead and jump in with the first ship. This is the Kansas class, designed by Devlin99 and his HYD crew. It features a fixed railgun in the front and a ton of PDCs, just an insane amount of PDC coverage on this build, definitely made as a gunship to get close and to do some damage in CQB. One of my favorite things about this build is how affordable it is and how fast it is. As we come around to the back, you'll see that it has dual Tachi engines on a ship that's, not even 1,000 blocks, and it's just absolutely a speed monster. Nothing can really outmaneuver this thing or out-accelerate it. So if you're in a tight CQB battle or a battle where you need to run away, this ship is going to be excellent for hit and run operations. Coming around to the front again, just really want to show that fixed railgun. I've heard that this ship is often loaded with an auto aim script that allows you to go ahead and kind of just wreck your enemies from afar, even without a turreted railgun. Going on inside, just want to show you that this is a very compact and small interior. Not all ships need to have crazy huge CICs and really fancy interiors. Moving on to the York class heavy destroyer, also by Devlin99 and his crew. This is an awesome ship. Again, really fast. One thing I've noticed about Devlin ships is that they're all extremely fast and capable. This thing has a nice turreted Zaco on the top that allows you to use this for hunting NPCs or advanced combat where you need that railgun to really pack an extra punch. One thing I also like about Devlin's builds is he puts the gyros on the outside. So when you're building in Space Engineers, especially for PvP, gyros have some of the highest integrity in the game, but they also are only attached to that one block. So if they come off inside your ship, they're gonna fly around like a pinball and do a shit ton of damage. Coming back around to this drive assembly, I just love how many drives are. 6 drives, look at that. 4 Morgans and 2 Tachis on the back, just allows you to go insanely fast. Coming back up, give you a better look of the railgun. And again, more gyros just peppering the hull right there. And this ship is actually on the workshop. I'll put the link in the description. Coming inside, this one has a little bit bigger of an interior compared to the last one, but it's still pretty compact. You can see here we have a nice little airlock, and then you come up these stairs, got a nice little crew quarter with some storage, and then going back down, all the way down past this floor, down to the next one, is where we start getting into some cool stuff. Got your nice medical room here with your spawn kit. Going down a little further, and you get your CIC with the cockpit, of course, and the air vent and the programmable blocks. Next is the Guyute by Danimal. This is a great looking ship, and I think there's a couple unique things on here that we're going to talk about. First being the amount of PDCs. Just have a ton of PDCs, not as much as the York class destroyer, but still a very decent amount of PDCs. And of course that turreted railgun up on the top. You can see there we got the Ghost of Callisto Navy, and then the name of the ship. As we come around back, you'll see something unique is that this ship only has 3 Epstein drives. A lot of people on the server go for 4 or 5 or 6 Epstein drives, but very rarely do people put 3 Epstein drives because it forces you to make an asymmetrical ship. One thing I also like is how those RCS look as we're coming by them. He says like ribbing of RCS looks very Belter. I really, really like how Belter this ships look. Again, coming around to the back, got those 3 drives, just really forces you to create a different hull shape than most people do. Most people make skyscraper tower shaped ships, but this one is not. Again, just showing off some of the greebling that he's done, the ribbing, insetting those beams inside the hull to make things look a little more industrial and a little more Belter. Going inside, this one is a pretty compact interior, but it's actually a lot cleaner than I was expecting. This looks like a very nice interior. You got that plant wall over there, just a medical room, but this CIC is absolutely gorgeous. Incredible CIC. You got 5 seats plus all of these LCDs with all this information. Absolutely incredible. Great work. Next up is the Archangel class by Iron Sun, and this one is just a work of art. The way that they built this ship, it looks almost organic, which is pretty cool because this is an LAC ship. You know, if those of you who have read the books know a little bit more about the proto-molecule tech that they use. I won't go too far into that, but just the way the ship looks is so good. Really, really unique. Love how many PDCs are on this thing, and the drive assembly is also really unique. There's not a flat drive assembly like most drives. You actually have these tiered drives, which is really cool, and that allows for some extra greebling with the PDCs and to be able to make sure you have these really good arcs of fire. Love how 2 of the drives are set in. Coming around the front, you can see we have 3 torpedo launchers on the right side and 3 torpedo launchers on the left side. Just a ton of torpedoes can come pouring out of this thing. And of course, you have all these PDCs with great arcs of fire, and the really, really unique shape at the front almost looks like a mouth, which is really cool. Going on inside, great airlock here, and then you move in, and this one is pretty compact, but I think it's a great, great interior to show how compact they can be. Going upstairs to the CIC, you can see it's pretty compact, but it's actually a 2-level CIC based on the Rocinante. So you can actually go upstairs and the pilot seat is up. Going back down through the CIC, you can see we get into some crew quarters down here, medical room, etc. Nice little interior. Next up is the Manticore by Alto Draconin. I think this is a really great ship, very inner looking. I think this kind of looks like the Donager in some aspects, but obviously not in some other way. As you can see, we have the dual MCRN stiletto railguns, one on this side, one on the other side. It just makes this ship extremely capable in CQB and anything that becomes a close range battle at all. Coming around back, you can see those elevated PDCs on the top and the bottom. I think those are really important. PDC placement is extremely important on the server because you use them to shoot down torpedoes coming at you, so they need to have really good arcs of fire. Moving on to the drive assembly, have 6 Tachis and 2 Morgans. This thing must have incredible acceleration, especially for a ship this big. Moving on to the inside, this thing is a really beautiful interior. I think Alto did a great job with the multiple levels. Is coming in here, you have a nice little medical room and airlock, etc. Go ahead and sit downstairs, and then you have a nice little storage room, lots of shelves, stuff like that, utility room. Go down one more, and you get to the CIC. The CIC here is pretty big, pretty great. I like it a lot. I think it's interesting that Alto put a Torp in here so he always has radar, which is very smart, even in combat. Next up is a Chetzemoka recreation by Saros. This ship is from the show. This is the ship that Naomi buys and tries to give to her son. And I think that this recreation is really cool. It's obviously a useful ship. It's a freighter, so you have cargoes going up and down the length of it, and then also, you know, that single engine drive, which may not be great for combat, but is really fuel efficient and would be great as a hauler. Looking at some of the screenshots from the show, I think Saros did a really, really great job, especially emulating the way that drives look in the show with these fuel tanks. Going on inside, you move into a vertical hangar. Like all ships in the Expanse, this ship is built vertically. Nice hangar, but then with dual doors facing sideways, so for when you're under thrust gravity. Really cool feature there. I think it's great to have the triple hangar doors. Then you have a nice little habitation level with lots of plants. And then going down, you have the CIC and control room kind of mixed in with engineering. I think there's more of a belter look. Next up is the Pyron by Mr. Crab. I think this is a great looking freighter. When you look at the show and you look at how freighters would look in, you know, a realistic space environment, being covered in freight is probably what it would be. They'd just be giant trains or giant, bricks of freight strapped together and sent to their next destination because there's no drag, right? And so I think this is a really good emulation of that. All these cool little freight containers on the outside really give it a unique look compared to a lot of the other ships that are on server. Have triple drives in the back, great acceleration to move a ton of cargo. On the inside of those nacelles, you can kind of see that there's these merge connector blocks. I think it's a really cool way to get miners and extra cargo in there. Moving inside, you have a nice little compact CIC. All you need for a freighter, just nice little compact cockpit and a couple LCDs to tell you what's going on. That's it for today. If you guys want to see more of these videos, please let me know in the comments. Again, as a disclaimer, a lot of these ships are given to me with the understanding that they will not be redistributed, so a lot of these are not on the workshop, unfortunately, but I do want to showcase them still. A lot of people were asking for another video of ship showcases, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.